And welcome to Teletalk. I'm Liv.
And I'm Ben.
And on this episode, you'll hear our carefully considered and not at all random thoughts on a show we like. There will be spoilers.
We're giving ourselves an age rating of 15 and above, but you're welcome to make up your own mind. Listener discretion is advised.
Back to Oak Island.
We're back, baby, and it's Oaky Island. This is episode 2 of season 13, and it's called $1 Million Baby.
I don't know why they called it that.
Well, we'll get into that later in the episode, because it does become... I was going to say clear. It doesn't become clear.
No,
but it's
I've watched
reach.
the episode and it's not clear to me.
They do talk about $1 billion, baby.
$1 billion? I thought you said $1 million.
No, it's $1 billion, baby.
All right.
But not as in it's a baby $1 billion. It's $1 billion, baby.
It's like how, what's his name talks, isn't it? Gary Drayton.
I guess.
That's his language, isn't it? When he's excited and stuff.
So to start with, I think we get straight to the money pit.
To start with, let me just say that our dog, instead of being asleep this week, is chewing on his toy, so apologies if you can hear that in the background.
Yes.
Anyway, back to your thing.
Pet ownership. So the money pit. We get started with, we get to see a map of all of the shafts and holes and everything.
It looks like a right mess.
Well, it's because it is a right mess.
I don't know how they know what each thing means.
It basically means stuff's happened here and you're not going to find anything there.
And they've got different circles and then lines from those circles and then more circles. It just...
Well, it's Steve Guptill, their surveyor, that's done all this, so maybe that all makes sense from a surveying perspective, but it's such a Swiss cheese of holes and shafts and nonsense that... I mean, it must be the most drilled site in all of the world.
Do you know what I miss? I miss Steve Guptill walking around with his stick, because now he is stickless and he is holding a piece of paper instead.
Well, you know, there's only so many times you can stick your stick in the ground and GPS it, because they're like, yeah, it's like 2 foot from the left of the 8,000 surveys we've done already.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're sort of going, right, we're going to drill J9, which is, for reals this time, the edge of the chapel vault, which collapsed into the sunken channel before. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yay! They're chasing the Pit Blado motherlode.
Because... yeah, when Pit Blado was involved in the drilling, they still knew where the money pit was. So if they're finding stuff from that drill site, then that means that's correct. And that is the money pit,
You
right?
are really good at following their tortured logic. Basically, yeah. We drill where they drilled and they didn't find anything. We'll totally find something.
Yeah, they just
we can
didn't
drill
go deep
deeper.
enough. No, to be fair, on this episode, they said that Pit Blado's team found the treasure. They drilled through 2 vaults for sure, and they just couldn't retrieve it because of the flooding and whatnot.
Yeah, we get to see the AI generated imagery.
Oh, there's so much AI imagery now.
Oh, it hurts my soul. Just get someone to draw it. Don't plagiarize with your stupid AI.
Anyway.
I love that Rick is expecting them to find coins in this one. He's just and we have Rick's brilliant quote of this episode, right? I think this might become a thing. The key is any evidence of treasure. No shit. The treasure hunting people are looking for evidence of treasure, and that's the key.
That's the key, yeah.
Which is a bit of it's a bit of a departure from his recent stuff, which is like, oh, it's all about the knowledge and the solving of the mystery. He's like, no, treasure.
He's gone full circle back to the treasure.
Good old Rick's back, and he's got gold in his eyes. Thing is, this drilling is a bit underwhelming. Like, we only get 1 hole drilled this episode, and they find nothing.
I know, and the music was quite tense, and I thought, oh my god, are they going to find something? No, it just peters out and there's nothing.
But they have to work really hard to make it seem like it's vaguely relevant. So they get to the bottom of the drill and there's just loose material. Like that is every time. And they're like, this could be evidence of a treasure chest. We need to take a sample.
Oh my god. I said at the time, didn't I? Poor Emma, she's getting a bag of dirt to analyse. This isn't even actual metal anymore. I
know, and then they're like, well, you know, this is the deepest we've ever drilled in Oak Island, so, and I quote, we know it's deep at least. Like, they are clutching at straws at this point. So yeah, they end the bit about the drilling with the wonderful assertion that the next one isn't going to be far from this one.
Yay.
I'm like, yay! We found nothing, so we'll move 3 inches that way and we'll totally find it this time.
Don't forget how they actually end things, which is usually, let's get to it.
Oh, yeah. Or, back to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was one of those episodes where they have to show you that they're drilling, but it was a big old nothing burger of nothing.
Yeah, they're working hard.
We drilled a hole, we found nothing, but it's totally evidence for reals.
It's all evidence whether it has what you want in it or
I'm
not.
fairly sure they'd be like, it's solid. That means it could have been a treasure chest. Or it's loose. It could be a treasure chest. Everything's a treasure chest.
I am actually always quite impressed by the geologist guy. Who's
Terry Matheson.
Yeah. Just because he seems to know stuff. So he gets the drilling core and he's like, this ground has already been dug up and replaced. This soil is undisturbed. This means this. And I'm like, how do you know that from a very tiny sample?
Well, I mean, to be fair, for all we know, he doesn't. All he has to do is say it in a confident voice. Like, I could poke it and go, this is a sign of Templars. And if I said it with enough confidence, you'd be like, yeah. It's like when Gary goes, yep, that's from the 1600s. I'm like, I don't know. He might be right. If you say it confidently enough.
I think I was going more on... He is quite skilled. He is good in his field.
How do you know?
It's mesmerising. Because they've got him on as a geologist.
Yeah, but they've got everyone else on as experts, and a lot of them are full of nonsense.
And yet, how many times is Gary Drayton correct?
That's true. Only the times that they show. He just call everything 1700s, and they only show the ones that are like, oh, God, he's right.
You are too cynical.
Yeah, but it's the people that are British on the show that are right.
Right.
Not that Terry Matheson's British, but Laird Niven's sort of British adjacent, and he's right a lot. Well, he's got a Newcastle United hat on because I think he's married to a British lady. So not that I've looked into that or anything, because I was like, what's with the hat?
Is this what you spend your episodes doing? Is
I'm just googling
everyone.
why he wears a Newcastle United football hat. But yeah, moving on from the money pit, which they steadfastly refuse to do on the show. We go back to the metal that they drilled up last week, when they actually found some stuff while drilling.
Yes.
You remember they had the core drill...
So we're not really moving on from the money pit. We're
no.
just recapping last week's find.
Yes,
okay.
That is exactly what we're doing. And so they drilled through a previous drill casing is what their theory was, and they do some analysis in the laboratory, and it turns out that's what they've done. And both bits are from the same drill casing, so they're confirming what your eyes can tell you, that those 2 bits of metal are.
There was about 50 years, wasn't there, in the time frame of when this metal was produced?
Mid to late 1800s, which... Oh my goodness, so just so happens to align with when the Truro Company was drilling on the island.
Well, that's...
And you'll never know, you'll never guess who was associated with the Truro
Who the
Company.
foreman was?
It was Mr. Pit Blado.
Yeah.
Cue lots of knowing looks like, confirmation.
But that's what's annoying, isn't it? Because one of them goes, that's definitely Pit Blado. Like, well, that's 50 years, though. Emma gave you 50 years to work with, and you've gone this one.
No, that happens to fit with our headcanon, and so Pit Blado for the win!
Yeah.
That coin is looking more and more legit with every passing moment.
I know, and they get so excited about that coin. I don't know if you want to talk about it separately, but...
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
We've got a whole section on the coin.
Okay.
That's our big finale.
I'll save it for then. That's our finale. Okay.
Yeah. What I love is that they show that animation, them drilling through those 2 stacked chests again. We go through the whole Pit Blado malarkey again. It's just brilliant. And I love that their assertion is, this is important as we know they were there. And so we're there too.
Yeah. But that's important to them because, as I said earlier, they were there when the money pit its location was known. It hadn't got lost yet.
So they've drilled down deep enough that they found undisturbed searcher stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm having a dog climb on me now. It's a joy.
He sits like a parrot on your shoulder.
He's yeah.
It's very cute.
Yeah, so I've got a co-host. So we then move on from that. It's very chaotic, this episode. We're back and forth and back and forth. So we now move on to the Smith's Cove spoils.
The spoils pile from the caisson digging last year.
Yes. So basically all of the mess they made last year, They're digging through
They
it to
put
see.
it all in Smith's Cove, and that is a shame because Smith's
Yeah.
Cove on its own has some very
Yeah.
interesting history.
I feel like Smith's Cove was like the last really meaty, interesting bit.
Yeah, I loved that stuff with the cofferdam.
Yeah, they drained it and it was really cool, and there were mysterious wooden like constructs and things. Oh, it's great times, not like now. But we start off with them, like we immediately cut to Gary going, "Oh, I found another pesky nail," and basically chucking it in a bush. It was like, mate, you usually go mad for nails.
Yeah,
What's
last
wrong?
week he loved the nail he found.
We caught him at a bad time. He's like, "Oh man, I just can't keep up the pretense anymore." But they then almost immediately find an hook, a lovely hook.
But it's unusual, isn't it? Because it's a square-based hook, so they think it's older.
Yes, he reckons 1600s or even earlier. Mm-hmm. And as we've already spoken about, Gary Drayton is never wrong, and so facts, you can take that to the bank.
Well, you can take it to Emma and she'll analyse it, which is what they're going to do.
Yeah, of course, because they send everything to Emma now.
Yeah.
I swear Emma has lobbied for more responsibility, or they've just gone, hang on, everyone's pointing out that we're a load of old charlatans, so now we need to... We've got to put some pseudoscience on this bad boy.
No, they used to send everything away, didn't they, to be tested, and it took a long time, and it was probably more expensive. Now they've just bought the machines and Emma, and she does it for them on site.
They went to the shop and purchased an Emma.
Yeah. She's a metallurgist,
Yeah,
which I didn't know was a word until this show.
Well, yeah.
I've now heard of it in loads of other contexts.
We're going to
too,
meet
but...
a numismatist later as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes. But yeah, I love that you're like, no, this is facts, and they just did it to be more efficient. I'm like, they are trying to put a scientific sheen on their nonsense.
Stop it.
You're glaring at me.
Yes, move on.
Moving on. So they then find a square nail, which now Gary inexplicably calls bootiful. So I'm like, oh, right, so that old nail was boring, but this nail, fine.
Well, the square ones are older, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a rose-headed square nail.
Yeah.
And could not be more happy if, I don't know, he found actual treasure.
Well, it's actually half a rose-headed nail,
yes.
and he's very excited. And I thought it was quite big, especially considering it's half. But apparently that could have been holding a chest together.
Well, to be fair, they did declare it would be from a big treasure chest. It could it be? This could be from a really big treasure chest, because they would have needed a really big chest for all that treasure that's definitely here.
Yeah.
That's an example of their lovely circular logic. Like, the fact that they are certain that treasure is here acts as proof that this must have been a big treasure chest because there's so much treasure. And so, we found a treasure chest nail. It's just facts. Right?
Right.
And have you seen the animations? It's obviously there.
If they just keep going down a little bit, then eventually they get to the gold.
If only they didn't keep nicking the edge of things when they were drilling down and pushing it into the solution channel rather than, finding all of that gold. The amount of people that have allegedly found things on drill bits or coins out of augers and stuff, these guys are having an absolute mare for 13 seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, they have found the occasional coin, to be fair.
And don't forget, they've now been flooded out of a chamber themselves.
Well,
chamber, when they were doing the
garden
mining.
pit.
Yeah.
Garden hole? What was it called? The garden shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got flooded. That was
their own
underwhelming.
rite of passage.
Season 11 in or whatever. But yeah, that's it. They found a treasure chest spike. They're probably sending it to the lab.
They found a square spike, a rose-headed spike, that they think might be from a treasure chest.
They think everything's from a treasure chest. I can't say it. It's so infuriating.
It's a bit of a tongue twister.
There. Now let's move on to something a bit more substantial.
Is it?
Archaeology.
Lot 5.
It's the archaeology on Lot 5. There's not a huge amount of this episode, but it's quick and efficient. They're in the rounded stone foundation, as they're calling it now. And they find a pottery shard of earthenware. Mm-hmm. And they seem a bit like, oh yeah, that's fun, we found some earthenware.
Well, it's very tiny.
Everything they find in the archaeology is tiny. Probably because the entire island's been decimated.
Well, there's layers, isn't there, in the archaeology, because there've been so many generations here.
Yeah.
So I guess the bigger stuff was on top because it was most recently dumped.
Yeah.
So then the smaller stuff is left at the bottom.
I'm on quote watch at the moment.
Oh my gosh, okay.
I thought it was quite telling that I think it was Rick or it might have been Marty. One of them said the archaeologists are intrigued by the feature. Which I feel infers that they're not. It was like, the archaeologists find this interesting. We think it's dull, and we can't, like, do stuff.
I would take it the other way.
Oh, right. Who'd have thought?
Well, if the archaeologists who dig up dirt for a living are finding it interesting, then that means it's really good.
Well, yeah, I would agree that. I find the archaeology the interesting bit. I just thought it seemed really stark that the team were like, yeah, that's boring. No?
I think they find it interesting, and then it's even better that the archaeologists find it interesting.
Look at you and your glass half full appraisal.
I like Oak Island.
See, I like it, but I do also recognise that it's full of a load of old nonsense.
That's your opinion, not fact.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm going by the show's approach to facts. I've decided that I've found a load of nonsense and that makes it true. I just don't have fun animations to go along with it. That's my problem.
Now, this episode, they were doing some metal detecting on Lot 5.
Yes, we're about to get to that.
They were very close to the digging.
I know.
Last week, they had to get an archeologist to stand there while they shoved a spade in the ground. This week, they get a whole digger in without anyone giving them permission.
Yeah, because they were saying, like, this is right next to both the round foundation and the square one. And I'm like, then why are you digging?
Yeah, and they zoomed out and they were literally, 2 foot away?
Yeah.
I think, oh my God,
Not
and
an
no one
archaeologist.
stood there going, yep, there you go.
Yeah, particularly after last episode where they had to go and get an archaeologist to stand and stare at them and go, yes, you may dig now.
I know, even when they only had a spade. This time they get big machinery in.
I'm starting to think that this is all a load of bollocks.
Stop it.
But, I mean, you're the one pointing out the inconsistency.
Yeah, in a fun, lovable kind of way.
So let's give a bit of detail around what we're talking about, though, because Katya, Marty, and Peter show up with their weird spades in tow.
Yeah.
I think they're like post-hole digging spades.
Yeah, because they've got like a blade on one end of it, which allows them to dig a narrow hole very quickly. It looks like a cool piece of
for a
equipment.
fence post almost.
Yeah.
And I was, as soon as I know it sounds like I'm saying this in retrospect, as soon as I saw Marty was there, I was like, why has he not got an excavator? He usually only shows up for excavators.
He's got his license and he wants to use it.
Oh, he loves it. He only rocks up if he's allowed to drive heavy machinery. But I thought it was fascinating because they find a bippity-bippity bip.
Yeah.
And then they dig it.
But to be fair, Katya's like, yeah, I think this will be worth digging. And I was going, your dad would not dig that up.
No. Well, and we were both prophetic here because they dig it and they're like, there's a boulder. And I'm like, it's not that big. It's like bowling ball sized.
It was a bit bigger than that.
Wow.
2 bowling balls stuck together.
And Marty basically just sticks his hand off camera and goes, well, we happen to have a pry bar right here. I'm like, that is hugely convenient.
It was a huge pry bar.
Yeah, they just had it lying around. So it was just like, we'll dig. And then he was like, come on out. And he couldn't do it. So he's like, I know, I'll go get an excavator. And I was like, yay! And he goes and gets the tiniest digger thing. What was it called? It was some sort of like front dig loader malarkey. And he gets really excited and he hauls this rock out. And what do they find, Liv?
Nothing.
Yeah, sod all.
Now, what was interesting about this, though, is that the metal detector was still sort of pipping very quietly. And they said, well, there probably was something here, but it's disintegrated and it's gone. It's not here now. Hang on. This reminded me of the metal testing in the water that they did over at the Money Pit, where they're like, this definitely means that there's still metal there now.
Oh, I see.
But what if it's gone? Like, we now have evidence that you can get a reading and it's gone.
So what you're saying is that the treasure was there, but it's now dissolved like an aspirin.
Dissolved, or someone's found it years ago. Like, we know that treasure
have.
has been found on that island years ago. And then the remnants of it are still being detected in the water.
So you're suggesting that this might be a fruitless endeavour now?
Well, it's possible, isn't it?
Yes.
And I'm just saying this is evidence against the science that they've already used a few seasons ago.
I have to applaud you because I know that putting this forward hurts your very soul.
Well, it's fun to talk about, but I like not having an opinion set. I like being able to talk about it openly, if you will.
Well, I fully agree with you. That would make sense. Is the first time that we've sort of had them dig up and go, well, there's nothing here, and maybe it's like the ghost of a...
Yeah.
Oh my God, what if it was a ghost iron?
A ghost iron what?
Like, they scanned, and it was like the soul of an iron remnant. Like,
You don't know if it was iron. It was non-ferrous.
Oh, was it not? So I know it's not iron then, I
It could
suppose.
have been iron, or it could have been gold.
Is iron that's died and become a ghost non-ferrous now?
I don't know that much about ghost iron.
Who does? So yeah, Marty got to do an excavator. But they then move on. And they're like, no, that's a shame. And then they sort of wander off and go, oh,
Like a foot away. You said
yeah,
they don't wander off very far.
Yeah, and in their
Because
best...
he says, oh, Katya, we've disturbed the ground. Just rescan it all.
Yeah, that wasn't acting or anything. Oh look, I've driven the excavator right near our nice archaeological dig, and I've gouged up the land. So just scan that.
Now, and the noises that the metal detector make at this point, I'm like, yes, Gary Drayton would dig this up. That does sound like a good signal. And she's like, yeah, dig that up.
Are you the Drayton whisperer? I'm starting to think that you might be a fan.
I mean, he's been training us all over these past years, hasn't he not?
I guess.
What's worth digging? What's just going to be a bottle cap?
But to be fair, Gary has a level of enthusiasm that he could find a bottle cap and he'd find a way to be like, yeah!
Gary Drayton and Jack Begley are unrivaled in their enthusiasm.
Which is why it was all the more confusing. It goes like, oh, pesky nail. I'm like, what happened to him in that moment?
But even pesky nail is quite enthusiastic.
I guess it's just so strange. But yeah, they scan that, and wouldn't you know it? They found that a shard of metal with a fastener attached is their first impression. And I'm like, oh, right, what was that? And they were like, oh, it could be a fastener from. And I'm like, what could it be from? And they didn't want to hazard a guess. No. So I was like, they knew that wasn't. Because we then see them go to the lab later. And it turns out that it's a piece of cast iron cookware.
They used the Tornado MG4.
Yes, the Tornado M4.
M4.
With its purple radiation.
Yeah. And that tells them that it's not from a chest.
Magic-y science stuff says you were wrong.
Yeah.
Gary wouldn't have got it wrong.
No.
He'd have been like, that's cast iron cookware, that is. Or in his actual accent. So obviously it didn't have a fastener attached. But I love the incredibly tall conclusion that they reached from a standing start here. Because they were like, I think that was brought over from Europe. And it's evidence that there's a cover-up, that they were trying to hide this site, because where's the rest of it? I'm like, you literally just scanned a bit where like some metal had rotted away and disappeared, so could it have been that?
Well, their evidence goes beyond that,
does it?
Yeah, because they said they weren't making cast iron over in the Americas at that time of the age of this, so it must have come from Europe, because cast iron was quite big over here. And they said all of this, basically this whole site had been buried under rubble and boulders that they had to clear out before they could even get to the stuff that they're finding now.
Is it unfair of me to point out that most of Oak Island is buried under rubble at this point?
No, but deliberately buried.
Well, I mean, they're inferring that from the fact that there's rubble on top of it. It might have just been they might have just chucked some spoils on top, right?
No.
No?
Because these are the archaeologists doing this work. They have seen sites. They know a site that's just been abandoned and life has taken over, compared to, let's clear this and bury it so that it can't be found.
Okay. You have a bit more faith in people associated with Oak Island than I do. But yeah, okay,
But
fair
if you
dues.
were a depositor and you wanted it to stay hidden, you would clear all evidence that you've been there.
Well, you probably make sure that you find all the bits of your smashed up cookware. I don't know. It just seemed like quite a leap. Oh, I'm going to suffer for this opinion later. But we continue on where Katya finds some treasure. Well, a coin. That's treasure.
Did she find it?
Yeah, she found. How did you not know that she found it? They make a big kerfuffle about it.
Because they also find a button this episode, and I was getting them muddled up.
No, that's later. But yeah, they found. Oh, we missed off of that actually. Yeah, in the archaeology, they found a button while they were sifting.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, it's a button, cool.
That's the end of that.
Yeah, hence why we brushed over it. But Katya finds an old coin, and then they bring in Daddy to come and celebrate with her. And
He
then
is so pleased that she found something good.
This is meant to be uplifting, and I just found it a bit creepy.
Why?
I don't know. It just was like, oh, I'm so proud of you, over and over again. I'm like, all right, yeah, good. It's a coin. All she did was scan, and it was there.
Yeah, but he put his neck on the line, getting her onto Oak Island, onto the show, thrusting her forward into the eyes of fame.
Right. So
and she hadn't found anything yet.
Congratulations, you didn't ruin my reputation.
Yes.
But yeah, but it just felt really weird. Like, they brought in all the old white fellas to come and stand around. Like Rick, Marty, and Gary to go, well done, young lady.
No. You're doing it wrong. Katya was already with Marty.
Right.
They found a coin.
Mm-hmm.
He was excited and wanted his brother to see it because you know what Rick would do if he knew there was a coin there.
Rick basically parachuted in.
Rick was with Billy Gerhardt and Gary Drayton. So when he got the call, all three of them left the spoils pile and went over to Lot 5.
You know it's a big
That's why they all turned up.
You know it's a big one when they get Billy out of an excavator.
Yeah, it's strange to see him walking and stuff.
Yeah. It just felt weird to me. And they were like, yeah, it's really old. So that's what they're setting up for next episode, is they'll scan it and tell us what it is. Because there was, like, hard to make out, but definitely writing and shapes and whatnot. So they reckon they'll be able to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Handy that they've got a numismatist on site.
Well, he was here looking at the other coin.
Yes, which we're about to talk about.
That doesn't belong to them.
No.
And they've got no proof was actually found on the island.
Now who's being a grump?
Well, again, they're just assuming.
So yeah, well, let's get into that then, because the aforementioned numismatist Sandy, they bring back, because he's been around over the seasons. Whenever they find a coin and they want to talk about the coin, they bring in him, and he's excited because I love the way they cut this, because he goes, "This is the coolest thing I've looked at." Long pause. On my time on the island. I'm like, wow. I was like, wow, we're giving this big league. Oh, right, yeah, it's the nicest thing I've seen today, since you handed it to me. But he confirms, in his professional opinion, the coin is legit.
Yep.
And also that it's definitely been buried pretty much ever since it was minted.
Yes, because they only minted them for about 13 years, something like that, and they were never in circulation.
I was like, how did it get bent then? Oh no, by an auger. Oh, proof. But yeah, he says it would have corroded differently if it was in the air as opposed to underground. Like in a big chest of other coins.
Yeah.
So that they're going mad with excitement.
But back in the day, people did bury their stuff to keep it. Like, there weren't any safes or banks or things.
Don't you bury your stuff now? I bury my savings in the garden. Oh no, I've let it be known now. Go! I won't be able to find it. I'll just drill it and it'll be gone.
I mean, the evidence is suggestive, but I don't think it's conclusive that coin definitely came from that island.
Oh, well, I mean, they've taken it as read.
I know they have.
What I enjoy is he described the coin as an ode to Templars because of its cross. And I'm like, this whole show is an ode to Templars. They might as well have called this Ode to Templars on Oak Island. But I just thought that was quite cute.
Yes.
But yeah, he's very exciting. And they make a point of saying that the metal composition of the coin aligns precisely with what metal readings, do you say? The ones that they've taken from the samples all around, you know, the aforementioned water sampling. The exact composition matches.
Oh, I missed that bit.
Did you? Mm. Oh, well, you were obviously done by this, because this was right at the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the metal composition matches all of those metal readings that they've taken from all the water around the money pit area. So they are like, well, more proof! This is so proven now. And then they get into the bits where it blows Rick and Marty's minds. Oh, because he values the coin. Mm. And he values that individual coin at worth $25,000 to $30,000 on its own. Which they then take on and go, well, how much would 100 coins be worth? How much would 1,000 coins be worth? Until they get to that magical 1 billion valuation if there were like 10,000 coins in a giant metal chest.
Yeah.
And they immediately start mentally spending this money.
I think the chest would be wooden with metal attachments.
What if the chest was made of gold as well? But I enjoyed that while we were talking about it, your dad, Liv, said that's the most valuable thing they've found. And we were like, they haven't found it.
They didn't even find
It's
it.
probably not even from the island. They certainly didn't find it. They had to borrow it from Pip Blado's
He also pointed
mate.
out, my dad, that if they found a whole chest of these coins, they would not be worth £25,000 to £30,000 each because they'd flood the market.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that one is worth it because it's rare.
Yeah.
You find 10,000 of the buggers, it's not rare anymore.
Yeah.
It's just
Throw
normal.
them around. Everyone can have one.
They're basically worth just their silver weight, so, £75.50 or whatever. So that's...
You're being generous. Silver's not worth very much.
I enjoyed that level of realism and cynicism. It was good, refreshing.
Yeah.
But Rick has to chime in, because obviously we've now got that $1 billion baby.
Yeah,
Because they're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
$1 billion. But you could do that. Like, I found a £1 coin. If I found 1 billion of these,
Yeah.
they'd be worth £1 billion.
Amazing.
Rick goes, I think there's something buried here that's worth more than $1 billion. Secret knowledge. I'm like, all right. So he, as excited as he got about this imaginary $1 billion, he's like, secret knowledge
He's
is worth
forgotten
more.
what show he's on. This is Ancient Aliens.
Yes. Could it be? Could it be worth more than $1 billion? Ancient alien theorists say yes. Imagine if they did just pull it all up and it was aliens. That would be amazing.
There'd be all sorts of crossovers.
Yeah. The irony is, if it was alien, it probably wouldn't technically be worth anything, particularly as it's been drilled through 8,000 times.
Well, that's the other thing, isn't it? Whenever they do find it, like they think it might have been the Ark of the Covenant and things like that. It's been drilled through. It's been kept in a pool of flood water.
What about that bit of parchment with a V on it that they
that's
say
ruined.
Yeah, that if it was like the lost manuscripts of Shakespeare, they're gone.
Yeah.
Why we're getting metal examples in the readings, I don't know. So it's all a bit mad. So yeah, that's what's behind the $1 billion baby. $1 billion, baby, from the title. Mm-hmm. And they've set up this coin that Katya found and made her dad proud with. That's going to be next episode's focus, I'd imagine.
Just figuring out what it is, where it's come from.
So yeah, it was both eventful and non-eventful. There was more. I made so many more notes and so much more happened in this episode than the 2-hour season kickoff, which is weird when you think about it. But what did you make of the episode? Did you enjoy it?
I always enjoy watching Oak Island. But if I'm giving it a rating, I would go for 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Well, why only 6 out of 10? Less than last episode.
I feel like they are making a big deal out of finding nothing. And I felt that especially this time. They were like, oh, this is the best thing we found from the island, but you didn't find it and you have no proof that it actually came from the island. So I was a bit annoyed by that.
Yeah, I'm really conflicted about this, because this, I feel, to me, this was the quintessential Oak Island episode where they found Naffal and they made so many leaps of logic and they overextended, like going, oh yes, if we had 10,000 of these coins, they'd be worth bajillion dollars and all of that, which is what you watch Oak Island for, to a certain extent. Like, it is ridiculous, it is over the top, it is pulling something from nothing. And so I kind of want to rate it highly, but also it's exactly why I find Oak Island frustrating. So I think I'm going to have to go for a solid 5 out of 7. I enjoyed
5 watts out of 7.
5 pesky nails out of 7, because I enjoyed it while also going which is sort of what I watch for.
In previous seasons, and maybe they'll get into it as we go through, they do cool stuff, like they get divers in and they have these
they send cameras
the
down
activities
things.
yeah, and that can be a bit more interesting, whereas it feels like they are just doing the same things over and over again.
When they inevitably take their 2 episodes to do a foreign trip, those will be the ones where I'm down in like 1s and 2s.
Yeah, you
they
hate
are
those.
dull. I'm like, boring. I want to see you drill stuff on Oak Island. That's why I'm tuning in.
Go back to the island.
Stick a diver in some mud or down a hole where they might die. That's
Well, the
what
other
I'm here for.
frustrating thing is like, oh, do you recognise that symbol? And it's one of like 1,000 on the wall.
There's a circle on the wall.
And they are like, oh, that was on the 90-foot stone. Oh, yeah, that you've actually never seen.
Yeah, because you did a load of searching for it, and it turns out it ain't there.
It's gone.
Do you remember that family where they were like, oh, we want to dig up your entire bush in the back garden, see if the 90-foot stone...
That was a beautiful hydrangea.
And they just bulldoze it, nothing.
Yeah.
And they were like, we'll put it all back.
Yeah.
I just love that.
I did actually like the search that they did for the 90-foot stone, because they went to that old... Well, it was in a bookshop, was it?
Yeah.
They went there, and now the stone had been in the window, and then it had been used for something. Go down into the basement.
Yeah, fascinating hunt for things. Like whole documentary shows have been made about like the hunt for things. Like that was great.
Yeah.
And they do all of the search for different things, or they go to local landmarks and stuff. That's fun and interesting and a hook. And I'm like, this feels proper.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they're just going like, oh, it's a bit of metal, and I think it came from Europe.
I also like the other metal guy. They sometimes subtitle him. What's his
Carmen
name?
Legg.
Carmen Legg. I
They're
really like it when he's on the show.
Yeah.
Because he's really... he just knows everything.
He's the blacksmithing expert. I suspect that before they get him on telly, they've gone, here is the thing, and he's done his research. They're not just going, on the fly, in front of cameras, do it.
Well, I don't know. I like Carmen Legg. I think he's amazing.
Well, yeah, I like him as well. He seems like a dude. And I love that he's obviously done well from the show, because it used to be they'd go to him at his blacksmithy. And in the time since they've engaged with him, he's bought a new blacksmithy, moved to a new pattern. Now he rocks up in his Corvette.
Yeah.
Like
he goes to them.
He is eating well from this show. But he seems like a dude. But
Yeah.
it's really weird because I think he's deaf, or partly deaf. So he's got an accent to his voice and everything. So sometimes they subtitle him, and other times they don't.
He
It's
can
so
slur
strange.
his words sometimes, can't he?
Yeah.
They sort of get jumbled together.
Yeah, but I like
He knows
him.
everything.
He's fascinating.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the times, the experts that they get in are really good. Like the numismatist Sandy, he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got Jack Begley running around going, "I'll dig a thing," like a Jack Russell.
That's the thing, because they used to send Jack with a team to go to see Carmen.
Yeah.
So whatever Carmen said, oh, this is a thing, and it's really boring, Jack's going, wow, that's amazing.
Well, it's really interesting, isn't it? Because the size of the Fellowship has grown hugely. Like when we zoomed out and you see they're doing a scenic shot of the island. You can see the car park's now got like 30 or 40 cars in it. And it used to be there'd be like 3.
Yeah, but they've got the whole drilling team. Like,
Yeah.
they probably all go in individual cars.
No, they live on the drill rig and they ship in on that, and they don't have cars.
And they've got all of the archaeologists and the archaeology assistants.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. It's a huge team. It's just cool. I love Oak Island. I do. I know I'm cynical about it, but I kind of like that about it. It's just fascinating to watch the psychology behind it all and how much they're trying to be like, yeah, look, we definitely have found something in this drill that found nothing again. And how much of a spin they have to put on it. I quite like that.
Okay.
So, what are we going to do next week?
Episode 3.
Episode 3, whatever they're going to call that.
Don't know yet.
$1 trillion baby.
Oh, no. And on that note...
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for listening. We've had fun. We hope you've had fun. See you next time. Bye.
Toodles.